It is truly hard to believe, but what you are looking at right now is a soup that remains perfectly shelf-stable without any refrigeration for over 2 years. I have crafted this using nothing but bones, the very same ones that you likely toss into the trash can every single week. This is a forgotten recipe recovered from the 1930s. This is exactly the method American families utilized to survive during the hardships of the Great Depression. Using the full technology available to us today, I spent $0 on this project. I urge you to stay until the very end of this video, where I will reveal exactly why this specific concentrate is far more nutritious than any bouillon cube you could ever purchase from a grocery store. Let us get started. I have been diligently saving these bones in my freezer for several weeks. Every time I cooked chicken, the remains went straight into a storage bag, the backs, the wings, and the thighs. Here is why these bones matter so much. When the American economy collapsed in 1929, 25% of Americans lost their entire income overnight. Families survived by taking what everyone else discarded and extracting every possible bit of nutrition from it. The Amish communities in particular did not go hungry during these times because they knew the secret held within bones: collagen, gelatin, calcium, phosphorus, and magnesium. After a long, slow cooking process, all of those vital elements transferred directly into the broth. The gelatin from the bones creates a dense structure, which is what allows our concentrate to hold its physical shape and store for years without needing a refrigerator. We are cooking this for a full 8 hours on low heat. Not 4 hours, not 6 hours, but exactly 8. Now let's discuss the salt. For every quart of water used, I add 4 tablespoons of salt. Since I have just under 2 quarts of liquid here, I am adding 7 tablespoons. You might wonder why such a high amount of salt is necessary. It is because this isn't just for flavor. It acts as a critical preservative. Salt pulls moisture out of the bone tissue and significantly speeds up the transfer of nutrients into the broth. The high salt concentration, combined with the eventual dryness of the finished product, is what grants us that 2-year shelf life without any refrigeration. This follows the same logic as making jerky or salt pork. Salt was the primary preservative used by our ancestors long before refrigerators ever existed. Next, we add onion, which is a natural flavor enhancer, packed with quercetin and natural sugars. After hours of slow simmering, it releases everything into the broth and creates that deep, rich flavor that you simply cannot fake with any store-bought powder. Carrots are added to provide sweetness, color, and beta-carotene. During times of limited food, such as the Depression, the vitamin A from carrots was critical for maintaining immune function. Add the onions and carrots after the first 4 hours of cooking. Once they are added, let the mixture simmer for another 4 hours. Please write in the comments, have you ever cooked broth for more than 4 hours? I want to know who among you is already practicing this. This right here is essentially free money. Every batch you produce from saved bones is money you didn't have to spend at the grocery store, and it tastes better than anything found in a box. 8 hours are now complete. Look at this result. The broth has reduced significantly and thickened up. Notice how it moves almost like a jelly? That is the collagen. That is exactly the result we were pursuing. This is no longer just soup. This is a concentrate. It is pure collagen, minerals, and everything that was locked inside these bones for 8 hours, all concentrated here in this pot. Now it is time to separate the liquid from the bones and vegetables. Before we strain this, I am pulling out the large bones by hand first. Look at these. Even after 8 hours in boiling water, they are still solid. But everything they once held, all the collagen and all the minerals, is already in this liquid. These bones are done. They have given us everything they had to offer. Pulling them all out takes a minute, but it makes the next step much easier. Once the large bones are removed, we go through the cheesecloth, which catches everything else: the small pieces, the cartilage, and the vegetables. The goal is to push all the clean broth through, leaving the bones, cartilage, and cooked vegetables behind in the cloth. Squeeze it hard to get every last drop out. Everything left in the cheesecloth can now be thrown away. It gave us everything it had. Look at what is left in the bowl. That color is a clear, bright gold. It is not cloudy or murky, it is clean. That is how you know the straining process worked perfectly. What is inside this liquid right now? This is the good part. It contains collagen and gelatin from the bones for joint and tendon health, calcium and phosphorus for bone density, and magnesium for muscle function and natural electrolytes. Everything that took 8 hours to pull out of those bones is sitting in this bowl right now. There are no fillers and no additives, just pure concentrate. This is what we are going to dry. I am taking parchment paper and spreading our concentrate on it in a thin, even layer. The thinner the layer, the faster it dries. Now here is a critical point that the Amish knew, and that most people miss today. You cannot fry this, and you cannot dry it at high heat. High temperatures destroy the gelatin and break down the nutrients, and then 8 hours of work becomes worthless. To dry it correctly, you have two options. Option 1, simply place it on a balcony or in a dry, well-ventilated room. At room temperature, it will dry in a couple of days with no electricity and no cost, exactly as it was done in the 1930s. Option 2, use an oven with only the fan running and no heat. That is what I am doing today. Room temperature air and airflow speed up the evaporation. Look at this, a dry, dense, dark slab. It doesn't stick to the parchment and holds its shape perfectly. It is hard to the touch, and the smell is incredible. 8 hours of cooking are now compressed into this one piece. I am using scissors, which are easier than a knife on a flat, dry slab like this, to cut it into 4 equal pieces. Why 4? Because one piece is the concentrate from nearly a full quart of broth, which is enough for an entire pot of soup. One piece equals 1 full serving. Now I am wrapping each piece individually in foil. Wrap it tight with no gaps. Foil protects the concentrate from moisture, outside smells, and light. Stored in a cool, dry place at room temperature, this concentrate lasts 1 to 2 years without a refrigerator. This is not a bouillon cube or powder from a packet. This is real chicken concentrate made for $0 from what you were throwing away every week. If you are enjoying this format of real survival recipes that actually work, hit the like button right now. It helps the channel and tells me what you want to see more of. Now for the secret I promised at the beginning. Why chicken bones instead of a store-bought bouillon cube? One commercial cube contains monosodium glutamate, carrageenan, hydrogenated vegetable fats, and artificial flavoring. Our concentrate contains collagen, gelatin, calcium, phosphorus, natural chicken protein, and minerals from the bones, the exact nutrients that get discarded in industrial processing. This is why people who lived on bone broth during the Depression were healthier than those who switched to cheap processed products. Let's taste it. I'm unwrapping one piece and I can smell it already. I'm dropping it in a mug and pouring in about 8 to 10 ounces of boiling water. Stirring it now, look at that color. Deep gold and rich. The concentrate dissolved completely in 30 seconds. The smell is like it's been cooking all day. For actual meals, I recommend using it to cook a full soup. Just drop a piece into a pot with water and vegetables. But as a quick test, right here in a mug, this is unbelievable. And we made all of this for $0 from something every one of you threw away last week. This is how families survived the Great Depression. This is what Amish communities kept in their cellars when store shelves were empty. They wasted nothing. Every bone, every scrap, that was food. That was life. Now you know how. Save your bones from this week, and next weekend you'll have a soup supply that lasts a year, literally from scraps. If this video gets 500 likes, I'm filming the next survival recipe from the Amish archives. I already know what it is, but I need to see that you want it. Hit like right now, and the next video comes faster. Subscribe so you don't miss it. A new survival recipe every week. Stay prepared. If this story of survival and resourcefulness has changed the way you look at the scraps in your kitchen, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the historical wisdom that time tried to forget. Start preserving your future today. The next treasury of survival secrets will be opened very soon.